Today, on You're Watching a Movie with Silas Lindenstein, it's a film club edition, holiday edition, where I am joined by comedian Jim Weber to discuss one of his favorite Christmas films, A Christmas Story.
You're watching a movie with Silas Lindenstein in the theaters you find this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to You're Watching a Movie with Silas Lindenstein. I am your host, Silas Lindenstein. Welcome to this film club edition, holiday edition, where I talk about a classic Christmas movie, A Christmas Story. I'm joined by comedian and podcaster Jim Weber. He is I put the call out for, hey, who wants to discuss favorite Christmas movie? And he said A Christmas Story. That's one of his, and I'm in love with The Christmas Story. I love that film, so I wanted to sit and talk with somebody about that. So I had Jim come on. If you have not seen the film yet, I recommend you watch it, then listen to this film club, or because I'm going to give spoilers out. But if you don't care about spoilers, then I guess you can listen to it. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge of you. I can barely control my teenage daughter. How can I control you? So yeah. And those of you who don't know A Christmas Story, some people are out there. I forgot to give a intro to the film in this. It's a 1983 comedy family film, 1 hour, 34 minutes, rated PG. It is based on the humorous writings of author Gene Shepard. The beloved holiday movie follows the wintry exploits of a youngster, Ralphie Parker, who spends most of his time dodging a bully and dreaming of his ideal Christmas gift, a Red Ryder air rifle. This is a holiday classic, runs on TNT station 24 hours a day, or TBS, one of those, for 24 hours around Christmas always. So a lot of you have caught it from that. Anyway, I don't know how you feel about the movie. Let me know in the comments if you agree with what we say in this, or do you disagree? Do you hate the film? Tell us how you feel. But either way, please be sure to hit that subscribe or that follow button, and you'll be notified the next time a film review or a film club episode drops. Apologies for this episode, meant to come out sooner in 2023 when this is recorded, but technical difficulties made this technically difficult. So it's out a little late after Christmas, but the great thing about the internet, this lives forever. So for you in 2024, forget what I just said. This is just here. Listen to it. Anyway, here we are. Open your hearts, open your ear holes, and listen to this episode of You're Watching a Movie with Silas Lindenstein, Film Club Edition, Holiday Edition with Jim Weber, A Christmas Story.
Ralphie, what would you like for Christmas?
I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 2-inch range ball air rifle.
No, shoot your eye out.
Oh, no.
Come on, Mom, we're gonna be late. I triple dog dare ya.
What I want for Christmas.
Aha! A little bribe never hurts.
A lamp! Oh, wow!
When all is most right with the world,
Oh, you should see what it looks like from out here.
the most unthinkable disasters descend upon us.
Scott Farkas.
Don't you give me that look. You're gonna get it.
How about football?
No, I want an official Red Ryder Carbine Action 2-inch range metal air rifle.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Ho, ho, ho.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Jim Weber, welcome.
Hi.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for having me.
coming. Yeah, welcome to Film Club, where we talk about Film Club.
Yay.
And we this is a holiday edition, one of our holiday editions, where I ask people to shout out some of their favorite Christmas movies, and you mentioned one of mine, A Christmas Story.
It's
Yeah.
my very favorite. No competition.
Well, let me pointing to it. This background, that's my favorite cover. I don't like the cover with Ralphie's face and the Christmas thing. I like this cover because it's this one makes it feel like the book.
Yeah, it does. Although the bunny suit should be pink. Is that the bunny suit?
Yes, it's inaccurate. It's totally inaccurate. That, and I have a special thing with The Christmas Story besides the movie. My first date with my wife was to see the play A Christmas Story, which at Driftwood Theater in Edmonds here. And so I brought her because I was on the board, so I brought her opening night to it. And and so I have an affinity for it from beyond the movie. But I was okay. For those, I think almost everybody knows the film, but still have to do the same stuff. Christmas Story, 1983, American Christmas comedy film, directed by Bob Clark, based on Gene Shepard's semi-fictional anecdotes in his 1966 book, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. It was, again, directed by Bob Clark. Cinematography by Reginald H. Morris, and it had a budget of $3.3 million, took in $19.2 million, so a good hit for it.
Yeah,
it's funny. 1983 as the year it came out, because I did not hear about it until about 1980, somewhere in 1986, 87.
Yeah.
I don't know when they started doing the 24-hour thing, but
I just read an article that was like in the late 90s, I think.
Was it that late? Oh my God.
Maybe mid 90s. It didn't take a whole lot, but I don't think it was in the 80s. But
wow, I remember my uncle watching it and going like, "This is the greatest movie," and watch it. And I remember at the time thinking, why do you want to watch such an old movie?
Yeah.
Because I didn't get that it was filmed recently. Like, I really thought it was like an older film.
Like the 1940s.
Yeah. Like, I was like, maybe this is like a 50s film. I didn't get the color. I didn't catch the color stuff. Yeah. And I didn't catch the nostalgia. And I know it would run a lot. It was playing a lot on TV at Christmas time. And I always thought it looked boring. I wouldn't watch it. Yeah. And then one day, one of the times, I think it was in the 90s that I started, they were doing the 24-hour Christmas thing, and I'm like, fine, I'll watch one of these.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I was like,
wow.
What is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, this is funny. And then I realized it was not made in the 50s. I realized it was an older, newer film. And, I mean, granted, just 10, even if it was like 10 years after, like, I'm kind of surprised how fast it became a hit.
Yeah, it became a classic pretty fast. I mean, it got okay reviews when it first came out, but not like you have to go see this. But I actually saw it when it was first released, and I remember
in the theater. Like, you saw it in the theater,
in a movie theater.
Yeah, Did you know right away? When you saw the commercials? Do you remember going, "Oh, this is going to be a good one"? Or
it was during a period I was in law school, and it was during a period when I had finals, and I rewarded myself every night. I went to a movie every night, and we didn't have as many streaming stuff, so you want to see a movie, you went to the theater. Yeah, and that's how old I am. But I went like every night to movies, and so I was seeing like everything that came out, and I thought, oh, a Christmas movie, why not? We'll go. And I wasn't that excited about it because I thought it was going to be either overly sentimental or whatnot, but it looked like it might be funny. And I knew Melinda Dillon, who played the mom, was in it, and I remembered her from Close Encounters. I thought, well, I like her. So went with no expectations whatsoever, and I was completely blown away. I mean, just not snarky, but just the way it was like, it did not really sentimentalize childhood. Like you had the bullies and you had all this stuff happening,
Yeah.
and I just fell in love with it. I thought it was I didn't think it was too overly sweet. It ended on a nice note, you know, like kind of, oh, Christmas is here, it's nice, but it
Yeah.
had so many funny things that I mean, I laughed out loud over and over and over again watching it, and it's a tradition at home now. I made my daughters watch it. Now that they're grown, they come over to watch it with me once a year, and it's kind of a
Oh,
thing.
nice.
You know, so
I wonder if like I was just reading about how it's referring to it being a series of vignettes. I wonder if one of the reasons it was able to draw the audience in so well on TV is that you could pop in almost any time and
oh,
and like as long as you got one of the vignettes, you got a
mhm,
mini story, right?
mhm,
And then you could
mhm.
go, what's this whole thing about?
Yeah,
Like there's the overarching Red Ryder BB gun.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't say the plot of the film. But
I,
there's the overriding BB gun, but
it's
otherwise
not
it's a bunch of stories
Yeah, it's
about
not just
Christmas.
a BB gun. We have to get that straight. It is the Red
The
Ryder
Red Ryder.
carbine action 200 shot range model air rifle.
Yes.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah. It'll and I think that's what I remember like when I would turn it on and be like, "Oh, Red Ryder, oh, watch this," and see a little vignette going on, and I think I had trouble figuring out like, "Well, what's the story about?"
Yeah,
And like, "Oh, it's
it's
in
getting
my
ready for
head,
Christmas.
in
Yeah,
my head, there is still a narrative story to it. I think I was always thrown off by Thanksgiving. Or no, was it
no, they're doing Christmas dinner with
they're
turkeys,
doing
and it was
Christmas
kind of
dinner.
confusing because it was a turkey. It was a Christmas
Yeah.
dinner with the turkey. Yeah,
Yeah. I think that always threw me off because like it's a turkey. What?
yeah,
It's
and
not
that, I mean
what
the vignettes. I think there is that overarching. You know, is he wants the gun? Is he going to get the air rifle or not?
yeah.
But it's like all these things that happen in a kid's life during the Christmas season. And all of it rang true. Even if it was in the 40s taking place, it applies today. I mean, I know what little kid doesn't know about. I want to get this, and their parent says, "No, you'll kill yourself." And you know,
Yeah.
it just everything rang true. And you know, the dinner that goes wrong. I mean, there's so many things that I think it resonates with people's holidays. I think it captures the fun and the beauty of the holiday along with the misery and all the horrible stuff that goes on in
My
a nice way, in
parents
a fun way.
my parents have said fragile ever they have said that ever since that movie came out. Whenever they see it, they reenact that joke and
Oh,
say
and that,
fragile,
and that's
fragile.
huge. That's huge. I mean, the whole opening up the lamp, and I won a major contest. And is it Darren McGavin? Is that the actor that played the dad, the old man? He is so perfect in that. I mean, he's like
Yes.
gruff and gruff, but heart of gold, but gruff and gruff. And you know, I love the.
Quintessential old man.
Oh yeah, swears,
uh
can't get the furnace to work.
he's um do you what do you think the lesson of the film is?
I don't know if there is a lesson other than I guess it's don't give up hope and plug on. I find it entertaining. I'm going, is there a lesson? I guess, you know, it's like, I think for parents, it's like, pay attention to your kids. I mean, ever so often you see like poor Ralphie is being not abused, but it's like, oh, he's not getting a fair shake here. Um,
But
I think the lesson is for adults is to remember what a kid's going through at the holidays or in life in general. They see things in a different perspective.
they were all right.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
almost shot his eye out.
He did.
He did. It hit him.
I mean, like right away. Like, how long did it take? 3 minutes?
Yeah,
To go
exactly.
back?
They were all right. He's gonna shoot his eye. If he didn't have glasses on, he would have lost an eye.
Yeah, it was a whole
Well,
different movie then.
yeah, like they were all right in the end. And part of me is like,
Yeah,
is that part of the
yeah,
lesson? Is the
yeah, yeah,
the dad ignores mom, buys him the gun.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh, I wanted that.
When I was little, yeah, yeah.
He yeah, I've
Yeah,
wondered at the end of it is it how much what we're supposed to take away from it. Is it just this Is there a do you think is there a message, or is it just a feeling that you walk away with
I think it's more a
of
feeling than a message.
nostalgia?
I think it's a
Nostalgia?
feeling. Maybe even moving beyond nostalgia, but it's a feeling of even when your parents or your teacher or whatever don't seem like they're part of your plan or whatnot. I mean, you're all getting together and you're going to work. I guess, I don't know. One message I got was, don't mess with your mom. Your mom's the boss. It can fix it all. I mean, he beats up the bully and doesn't get in trouble. I mean, mom covers for him all over the place, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's more a feeling. I mean, it really does give a feeling. I mean, they have all these vignettes of things that are holiday timed, but go beyond the holidays, like being victimized by the school bully and getting revenge, taking a dare from your peers and ending up with your tongue stuck to the pole. I mean, the horrible costume from your Aunt Clara that they make you wear. I mean, all of these things I think resonate with people going, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still good. So for me, it's the feeling. I mean,
and, and each part gets you at a different time in your life, right? Because
yeah.
as a kid,
yeah.
I was Ralphie.
Oh yeah.
And then as an adult, like I'm seeing more like I'm like, yeah, I see the dad's point of view a lot more on all this. Like, why you all? Let me just read my paper. Let me just read my paper. While you all.
When I first saw the movie, I was in my late 20s, I guess. Didn't have kids yet, and the movies, I still loved it. But then once I had kids, it's like you start seeing it from all the different perspectives, which I think is really fun. And then I just think it's a brilliantly paced movie because it starts off with them looking in the window at all the toys, and it sets up like I want the Red Ryder gun. But what kid has not looked in the toy section of the catalog or in the window and gone, oh? And so that's relatable. And then getting thwarted over and over again, asking for it. I think that part was fun. I mean, there's so many funny scenes, that just poor Ralphie. I mean, it's almost sadistic watching him get victimized when they're saying, no, you can't have that. Shoot your eye out. And, he thinks he wrote this great paper for his teacher. He gets a C+ instead of an A. And the acting, I just think all the characters, I'm starting to reminisce. I can almost see the movie in my head. I've seen it so many times.
I mean, it is one of those movies I think I could, if we had a challenge at a Christmas party to go through the movie, like, I think we could almost do it. Like, we could could recite the scenes or the dialogue as it goes.
Yeah.
Did Ralphie gets the gun in the end, spoiler. What was I playing on? Okay, did you know that there's 3 sequels?
I did know that there were other ones. I hadn't known there were so many until after you asked me to do this, and I kind of looked up and went, oh, I didn't know there were that many. But
I tried watching I didn't know it was I thought it was the first sequel, was the last one that's come out, but I didn't know it was the third. I tried to watch that. I had to stop because I couldn't stand it.
Oh, I haven't tried. I haven't tried yet.
I should have known, but there was one first one called It Runs in the Family, released in 1994, but it was not a Christmas one. It was like the same thing, but because of scheduling, they ended up having like a different cast except for the narrator.
Oh wow!
And then A Christmas Story 2 released straight to DVD, and that's
always a good sign.
Yeah. Right. Well, I know it's so fun. You know what? Here's a problem now. They don't do that anymore, right? Since there's not direct DVD, it goes direct to streaming. The problem is also good films go direct to streaming.
Some great films have done that. You can't.
So you're like, just because it says, just because it was like, well, it's never been released, you don't know. The only thing is if I've never heard about this, then you're like, is it good? Is it good? Let me try it.
I think between streaming and the way things are working that way with movies, combined with 2020 and when theaters were locked down for so long and people just got out of the habit. I mean, I used to go to movies every week or so, and I don't go very often now because I can be at home. I can eat what I want, drink what I want, wear what I want, and I got
such a good feeling. The only thing the theaters don't have for me is a guarantee. It's part of why I do press now. Why I'm press now is I don't know if somebody's gonna have their phone on in front of me and be TikToking or scrolling through it. Just enough to irritate me.
Yeah.
Even if they're not making noise, that's just an irritation knowing that they're not present for
Yeah.
this, and I was like, "You're gonna distract me," but now you're distracting me because I'm thinking
Yeah.
how you're gonna distract me.
Yeah, and there's something so fun about the whole audience when you hear them reacting, and I mean that's really cool. But I think people are overrated, so I kind of don't like having to do that. So I'm surprised
I
to
will
say that.
say though, like comedies, like how I think it affects you. It affects
Mhm.
people, your perception of a film. I think me less so because, well, I do think people who do comedy, people are comedians who are involved in it, who can be somewhat experts in comedy. And even if you're not an expert, I think you get if something's funny, whether, and we know from open mics, whether
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the audience doesn't necessarily matter if you know, like, no, I think this joke works now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
that long enough, and I'm like, I've done it 12 years now, right?
Yeah.
That aside from, I think I can watch a comedy alone and get that it's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need the audience. But most critics, if they're watching alone, sometimes I think they miss the humor
Possibly.
because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they
Well,
just
so many
listen to it
critics don't have a sense of humor, too. So
to
there's that.
begin
Yeah.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they need that
Yeah.
audience to help lubricate them a little
They
bit
want
to
the
get them.
drama. They want open Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
You know?
yes. So I'm like, and I will say some of my funnest experiences in the theater have been with people laughing together at the
Yeah.
same stuff.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
It really is.
I think my first film back with an audience was a film called Lost in the City, the Sandra Bullock thing.
I remember that one.
And it was it was just such a great experience to laugh with an audience full of people
Hmm.
again
Hmm.
that I'm a little sad that people aren't taking the regular time to
Yeah.
go back to a theater. And yeah, it is way too expensive and everything's in there. Um,
I do remember the first time I saw Christmas Story in the movie theater, the audience was howling. I mean, they were howling. And when people left, I mean, people had tears in their eyes from laughing and were going, I didn't expect that to be so good. I mean, that's what I remember about seeing it the first time. People were like going, where'd that come from? That was so funny, and
yeah, and I don't know who in here was I don't know that anybody was a big star in it.
well, Melinda Dillon had done Close Encounters. She was a big
Okay.
star on stage. She was a big star on stage. She was nominated she was in the Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I'm a drama geek. And so she had a big stage career before that. Darren McGavin had done lots of stuff, TV and whatnot. And Peter Billingsley, he was really big right then. He had a TV show that he was a co-host on, kind of, and he was doing tons of commercials. So I was almost
What
surprised
do you
he
remember?
got
What
cast.
show? What do you remember? What the
It was
show?
called Real People. Real People, I think, was what it was called, and it was like a pre-reality show where they would like do these little stories about real people, and he was, it was a comedy. In fact, I think maybe no, I don't think Bob Saget was one of the hosts, but it was some famous host. But he was on it a lot, and everybody loved him, and I didn't care for him, and so I almost wasn't that thrilled about going to the movie because oh, it's that kid who's so cute. But in this movie, he's cast perfectly. I mean, that's what I loved about this movie. It's cast perfectly. I mean, the mom, the dad, the side people, the teacher. You know, I that scene in the Chinese restaurant. Melinda Dillon's laugh as the mom when she's looking at that chicken and like everything's gone wrong, but now the holiday is salvaged. It's one of my favorite scenes. And I didn't know till years later that when they used the big hatchet and chop off the bird's head, they didn't tell her she was going to do it. That's why
Yes. Yeah, I read about that. That's hilarious. That's the one scene that I'm like, I don't know if it would be made today.
Yeah.
I don't know if it looks if it comes across racist.
It is troublesome with the talking and
Is it
stuff.
problematic? Like, is this problematic?
The guy, they're all there laughing with them along with it and singing along. So I had to think. I give it a pass. I think this. I don't think
it'll get a pass. Okay.
I just because of the context and there. I think it's okay, but it's like, see, but okay.
So
this is one. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so obviously they made sequels on it, but was that? I guess the box office says it was a mistake, but do you think it was a mistake? Like sometimes I'm like, it's a Christmas story. How can you repeat this? Is it worthy of doing?
I agree.
A second.
I am not a sequel fan in general. I think sequels are almost a plague. because sometimes it's great. Like, okay, Godfather, there's some good sequels,
Right.
because they stood on their own. But so many times it's popular, like, oh, it worked, let's do it again. And it's like the Marvel movies. It's like, let's do the movie over and over again. And it's
Yeah.
like, I think there's entertainment value in some of those, but other ones, it's like, please don't. It's like, you've got a really good thing, now come up with a new good thing. Is my
Right.
preference.
It worked. I felt like it worked on its own. I always like to talk about, like, examine if a movie needed a sequel. Was there anything left? Do you think there was anything left in this film that didn't get explored?
No, not at all. I mean, we want to know, did Ralphie grow up to be happy? Did his little brother ever come out from under the sink? But not enough to make a new movie about it.
Right. Did they ever learn
Oh.
to eat right?
Yeah.
I do. Could you do you feel like, could you write your own Christmas story? Like, do you have 9 vignettes of your childhood that you think people would relate to?
Not right at this moment, but I know I do. If I thought about it, I would, because I'm thinking
Yeah.
now a couple of things, and I might call it a holiday story and make vignettes with maybe not quite so linear, but some different holidays, because I can think of some horrible Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
Not horrible, but the vignettes would be good, like the frozen turkey that you didn't thaw or whatever. But although Christmas Story beats the turkey disasters of almost any other movie. I mean, the pack of wild dogs breaking into the
Yeah.
house, taking the turkey out. I mean,
What?
you can't beat that.
Oh, what was your Red Ryder BB gun when you were a
Oh,
kid?
I know what it was. I know what it was. As you know from my comedy, but your listeners may not, I was a gay little kid. Gay old man now, but as a gay little kid. And what I really, really wanted, and I do a whole comedy bit based on this, I really wanted a Barbie. I didn't want to be Barbie, but I love the clothes. I wanted to play them. I knew you boys don't. I just knew I couldn't ask for that. And unlike Ralphie, I never actually asked for it. Instead, I said I wanted Ken, because I thought, well, a boy doll will be okay. Luckily, my grandmother figured it out, what I really wanted, and she gave me Barbie, and she made clothes for it. So I had that and whatnot. Relatives were horrified. They thought, you can't do that. You'll turn him into a girl. But little did they know, I wasn't a girl, but I like girly things. Yeah, I just thought the clothes were fascinating. I should have, I never became a designer or anything, but that was my Red Ryder. But I never had the nerve to ask for it, because I knew the world would come to an end if I asked for that.
Everybody, I think my Red Ryder was, I want to think that it was the Millennium Falcon. That I still have, like, I wanted this Millennium Falcon, like this big one that they sold.
Yeah,
And because my mom she heard I wanted the Millennium Falcon, and then she brought me this tiny little Millennium Falcon. And I guess I was like, no, the big one. Big one.
Yeah.
And like, oh, like, I was sad. And so she ran out to, like, go find this giant Millennium Falcon, and she didn't get it for me. So, but I was like, I love that thing so much. I would just fly it around everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, because I can't think of another item that I didn't like, that I coveted a lot. I generally wanted Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
But I knew some was just not gonna happen.
It was probably 1967 or so. I don't remember what year this came out, but Panasonic came out with a round radio, a round transistor radio.
Oh.
And I wanted that so bad. They came in blue, black, and white, and I wanted one so bad. And I remember my dad on Christmas being so proud, giving me this gift. And it was God, what kind of tapes did we have then? It was like a tape deck kind of thing, but it was old stuff. He goes, this is better than a radio. I know you like that. Like, he missed the point. It's like, okay, I kept playing music, but I still remember that, opening it up and going, and I was 10. I am ashamed of this now looking back on it, but I remember opening it and going, oh, and like, it's Christmas before I probably look like a spoiled brat. I got this nice gift. I'm going, this isn't what I wanted. And I was very vocal about it. I didn't want to.
But I remember that happening a lot, where people were like, oh no, this is better. I'm like, but that's not what you asked for. It's this, what you got is, parents parents will even sometimes get stuff that's more expensive, thinking this is better. Oh, this is a better thing for them. And it's like, but they didn't ask for it. They just wanted the little thing. Can you just get them the little?
Yeah. Okay. You asked me what my Red Ryder was. What was your pink bunny suit?
Oh.
Did you have an Aunt Clara?
I didn't have an Aunt Clara, but I could relate to it as far as getting the ugly sweaters, though. There was definitely the ugly sweat. It was usually sweaters, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
That I knew I did not dare vocal, but they were never not there, right? So they were always there, and I had to be like, yeah,
try it on. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the sweaters. There were always sweaters. There was always some awful sweater. Maybe a t-shirt. Maybe a t-shirt too.
And then I was forever from the aunts and uncles, and they're giving toys and whatnot. Oh, little boy! I mean, so many footballs, so many baseball bats. I'm like going, I didn't play sports when I love sports now, but at the time couldn't care less. It's like, I wanted books. And of course, they would give me books for my age instead of books that I was really reading. So I'm like,
I am curious. Part of me is curious as if there's a Red Ryder thing now. Like, what I gotta talk to a new kid and go like, what is? I guess I can ask my own kids. I feel like diversity of interest is far more accepted now. Than it used to be.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, like. I can't imagine not asking somebody, do they have a football? Do they have? Because I remember I would get the same thing a lot from people.
Yeah.
It was like they didn't mass make as many different things as they do now, right? And occasionally I get stuff that I own, right? Because it's a Star Trek. He'll like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so basic, like, you don't think I own this? What are you crazy?
I just remembered another Red Ryder gift. I really wanted a skateboard when I was, again, probably like 9 or 10, and I wanted it so bad. And my parents kept saying, "No, you'll break your leg. No, you'll break your leg." And they finally got it for me, and I did not break my leg.
Okay.
I skinned both my knees and chipped a tooth.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
It took me about 3 times as long as it took Ralphie to shoot his eye out. I think it was maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Up and down, wham.
Did you stop riding?
I never got very good. And skateboards, this is before skateboards got well made. They were like the little ball bearing wheels.
Yeah.
And any little pebble on the sidewalk, you'd come to a dead stop and go flying.
Yeah. I remember.
So I never got very good at it, but I got really good at roller skates. Very good at roller skates.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I've talked the story about hitting a crack in my sidewalk on a skateboard, and I flew forward and busted up my whole. I don't know how I didn't lose all my teeth.
Yeah,
so I landed and it shredded my lower. I had to go to the hospital to
I'm in pain thinking about it.
Get a stitch, but like, yeah, they were dangerous little things. No wonder they didn't want. I just assumed that they were still like that.
Yeah, I think they have the bigger wheels, and they've got Tony Hawk. They
plasticky,
yeah. They're more high tech, I guess. But okay, I just had a flash on a movie vignette of it, but I liked is because it rang so true to so many experiences I'd had as a little kid. And this how they had the running thing for Ralphie over and over again, checking the mailbox because he wanted the decoder ring that he sent away for.
Yeah,
little orphan Annie listening to it and figuring out, and finally getting the ring. And I got the decoder ring and finding out it's just an ad for Ovaltine. I mean, how many times as a kid did you want something, and then when you got it, it didn't look like the picture?
Right.
Wait a minute, it's not doing like the commercial said. And that disappointment of something you really wanted, and then when you got it, it's like, and that holds true for adults. I mean, it's like I really want this, and now I have it. And like,
Did you have that happen to you though?
Oh, not with the decoder ring, but it was like it wasn't a decoder ring, but it was like a thing that looked like a fake wristwatch that supposedly you could send messages to people.
Yes.
The only way to send a message was it had a little paper dispenser, and you could make a piece of paper and give it to somebody. I mean, and this is pre-streaming and Bluetooth. I'm sorry, we didn't even have internet then, so it's not. But I thought it was gonna be like a Dick Tracy ring. You know, you could really, watch. You could really like talk to people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did a similar one because they were on the back of these comic books or something, that they'd have this list of things that you could send in for. Kind of like the monkeys, like the growing monkeys, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that
sea monkeys.
Sea monkey. That might be my.
That was a disappointment.
That was a Dakota ring.
Sea monkeys. Can we talk about sea monkeys?
I ordered
they
a
did
couple.
not wear crowns. They did not.
No. I don't even know what they are. I think, are they kelp? What is it?
They're brine shrimp.
Brine shrimp?
Yeah. So you can grow them and feed them to something like other fish or something. But
I think I bought 2 of those things like that they sell with the sea monkeys before I was like, well, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not spending
at least ant farms kind of worked. Ant farms worked. You could see the ant going through it, but those always had unhappy endings. But
yeah,
put them in the window in the sun. Yeah.
Ants in your house, or ants in your house.
One of the two. Or that.
So okay, with A Christmas Story, is this a movie that you always ask people what is this a movie you share with? How do you know who to share this with? Are there people that you don't?
I do not limit it. If I'm talking about movies and people say, I want to see a good movie, whether it's holidays or not, this one may come to the list. Definitely when it's around the holidays, but I push this one to everybody I know, and nobody's ever come back and said I didn't like it. Some people don't love it as much as I do, but most people really like it that I've talked to.
I just find it hard sometimes with movies like this to find people that haven't seen it yet.
There are a few. You have to find younger people sometimes.
What age do you think? What age do you think they're ready for it? Because
obviously it depends on the kids. My first thought was going to say 10 or so.
Think that early?
But my grandson is 6. I think he would enjoy this movie. We haven't watched it with him yet, but I think he might not get all the nuances and stuff, but I know he would love the bully getting beaten up. He would love the tongue on the ice. I think he would get a kick out of it. He might not understand, the timing of it, but I think 6 might not even be too little. Okay. But I think 10's safer. But I'd recommend it to everybody. I used to, before one of my past jobs, I used to do a lot of training in different workplaces. And as an icebreaker, when I would get going, it's okay, before we get going, I want to get to know you. Everybody tell me your favorite movie. I said, because this way I can, good movies I want to rent. And it was on a regular basis, somebody would say A Christmas Story as their favorite movie. It happened regularly when I did that exercise. And I didn't name it, some other people did. And so it showed up almost as much as Star Wars during the classes. Yeah, a lot of times people didn't want to say Star Wars because somebody else had, so they remembered this one.
Yeah,
but it was mentioned over and over and over again. So I think it's got obviously has a huge following because they do 24 hours of it on the holidays.
Yeah, and I will say I do think it is one of those films that works well even outside of the holidays. I will enjoy it if it popped on in the middle of the summer. I could still watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Yeah. It is always the holidays because it kind of turned into a tradition. So it's I don't watch it other times because I'm saving it up.
Because I know it's going to be on a bunch, right? Well, and I guess I don't flip through channels anymore, so I have to be a little more deliberate. But it's there.
You can always find it.
Hey, Jim, thanks for coming on. These are short episodes sometimes, and I'm not sure how much we can delve more into the nuances of it.
We've diverged here and there.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming on and sharing. Always like when there's a mutual favorite movie to discuss.
Yeah,
I always say even more than watching movies, my favorite thing is discussing movies.
Yes.
Little tidbits.
Yes.
So thanks for sharing this one.
It
Christmas
was fun.
Story.
I had fun.
And thank you, listeners, for watching a movie with Silas Lindenstein.
You're watching a movie with Silas Lindenstein. In the theaters you find this. So go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it like it or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it isn't tough. We spend a lot of time at the cinema. It's just me and my friends, we watch plenty stuff. For movies, I've been above. Whether big or they small, no, for me don't make a difference. Love 'em. You're watching a movie with Silas, Lindenstein, in the theaters you find this. So go and press play and rewind this. This picture is timeless. Love it, like it, or we lose it, can't find it. And we ain't keen on being reminded about the film if it didn't hit. No, gotta lose it. Watch movies with my friends, bringing joy, that's the blueprint. So come on and let's do this. Leave pain behind us and relax your mind. Come watch a movie with Silas. Yeah.